It's okay. It doesn't bother me. No big deal.
It's fascinating being with an expert. It really is.
Now we're back with Brandon at Gatorland here in Central Florida. How are you this year, sir?
Oh, doing great, man. Business is good. We're busy. Having a good time. You guys came out last week and enjoyed the park again and had some fun. And
we did, and we noticed it's getting a lot busier these days. The crowds are flocking here.
You know, honestly, with the big parks here, you know, the big three, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, and stuff like that. Love SeaWorld, by the way, but Disney, Universal raising their ticket prices.
Yep.
The new attractions they're building. The long lines. I mean, did you hear that last week when the new ride at Universal opened up?
Yes.
10-hour wait. A 10-hour wait.
I know.
Of course, here at Gatorland, we don't have that, you know. You're going to wait, maybe 15, 20 minutes for the train ride, if that's it and busy, you know, so.
Well, we came last week and we went straight onto the zip line. We talked about the zip line last year and the zip line for disabled access, which is still going strong and brilliant. We walked straight onto the train and the Stomping Gator Safari onto the
the Swamp Buggy ride.
Yeah, Swamp Buggy ride. We jumped straight onto that, and of course there are attractions going on all the time, aren't there? You can feed the alligators. You can see there are shows, a timetable with plenty of room for people to sit down. And Nikki has just been noticing, she asked what the crocodile was doing over there, and you said alligator was doing over there, and you said it was a Nile crocodile.
Yeah, so she's a Nile crocodile, one of our of 3 females that we have, but she lives out here in the main lake. Our other Nile crocodiles live back in our Jungle Crocs area, but her name's Delilah, and she's still sitting up protecting her nest, even though we've already collected the eggs, and then they're in our incubator, which is going to take about 55 to 60 days for those eggs to hatch out. She's still protecting and being mama, and then once those 60 days goes by, she's going to realize, well, nothing hatched out, and she'll go on her way and no problem. She has no idea, you know, honestly.
So what's the reason for you taking the eggs then?
Well, because we're an outdoor park.
Yep.
We have other wildlife here that comes in. All these birds, the wading birds, the egrets, the herons, all that, they're going to eat baby alligators and baby crocodiles. There's fish and turtles in our ponds that would eat baby gators and baby crocodiles. The bigger gators and crocodiles would eat baby gators and baby crocodiles. So we collect all the eggs here at Gatorland, incubate them, hatch them out ourselves. Now we hope for about half of our egg collection to hatch out. There's things that happen that we don't know about. I mean, baby gators, crocodiles are tiny when they hatch out of the egg, and sometimes things happen in the egg that are, you know, not out of our control. So we collect those eggs, we incubate them, but she's guarding that nest there, and she just had her mouth open for a little bit, and that was her regulating her body temperature. So gators, crocodiles need that outside temperature to warm themselves up. They need some sort of heat source, you know, to warm up. They can't do it, you know. You can't put a blanket on them and they warm up. So they sit out in that sun. All those bumps on their back warm them up. You know, they're like their prehistoric solar panels, what they are, the osteoderms there. But she had her mouth open, kind of like a dog panting, to either A, cool herself off, or B, warm herself up. And I'm guessing she's probably warming herself up a little bit, especially since we had that rain last night, and that sun's nice out and bright now.
Well, that leads me to a question, because we were on a golf course and it started really raining, as you can imagine, and we saw the alligators, just a couple of them, sort of tiny ones, go into the water.
Yep.
Where do they go in the rain? Do they hate the rain?
They actually love the rain, you know. I mean, at least here at Gatorland, the gators get really excited, especially during that Jumperoo show. If we got rain going on during that Jumperoo show, we get some massive jumps for some reason. They love it. So, you know, if it's really cold out and it's raining, they're going to dart down in the water. Water's usually warmer than the air anyway, so they're going to stay warm in there. You know, especially like, you know, hurricane comes through here in Florida. We get a few of those every year, maybe, potentially. These gators have been riding out hurricanes for millions of years. It's not their first rodeo, you know. So they'll dive down the water and hang out. I mean, these big alligators can hold their breath for an hour to 2 hours on one breath. So sitting under the water is no problem with them, you know.
But two questions, two questions about Delilah then.
Yes.
Number one, is she the only one who goes on that island? Would she protect it from everyone else?
She is going to protect it from everybody else. Now, a few gators come up every now and then. She might chase them off. But so far, since she's been sitting up there, we haven't seen too many alligators sitting up on the island sunning themselves like.
Do they get on, alligators and crocodiles?
For the most part. I mean, you know, they're sort of the same, just different species.
Yeah.
But they'll fight with each other no matter what. I mean, still, you know, one doesn't like one another, they'll fight. They're fighting over food, fighting over territory. But of course, these gators, crocodiles here at Gatorland get fed really well and don't have to compete too much for food.
Yeah.
And when we first got here, Nikki said that why has the alligator got its mouth open? And you said, well, that's actually a Nile crocodile. You named it. There must be hundreds and thousands of alligators here. Do you know them all?
Most of them,
Okay.
you know, a lot of the big guys. So we actually have close to 3,000 alligators and crocodiles total here at Gatorland in our inventory. About 2,500 of those are alligators here on property, about 200 are crocodiles, and then we have a couple hundred that are off property at different sites where different things that we do. So most of the big guys I've worked with over the years, you know, being here. I mean, I've been here for 15 years now and worked with them, so we recognize them. And to you guys out there, you might realize, well, how do you tell them apart? Well, it'd be no different than you having two puppies, two kittens of the same litter. Eventually you learn something to tell them apart. So it's just different things on their body to help tell them apart.
And different temperaments, I suppose.
Most of them,
I mean,
yeah, they all have their own personalities.
We said hello to Chester the other day, and
Yes.
I like to think he remembers me from last year.
And there was one, in the great big pond.
The breed marsh back in the back.
Yeah, there was one that was like the biggest. You could tell it was the biggest. I remember last year you telling us about that one, but I can't remember its name.
Buddy.
Buddy's
our
and that
largest.
was the one that you sort of like pulled over.
Yes.
And he sort of hangs around underneath one of these walkway things.
Yes. 13 feet 8 inches and about 1,200 pounds.
He was
Yeah.
enormous.
Yes.
Yeah. I figured I recognised that one.
Of course, you look after them. They're all looked. I mean, you said that you remove the eggs because the eggs would get eaten. There are fish in the ponds. There are turtles. So presumably they kind of look after themselves. They've got great conditions here. There's nothing captive about it, really.
Oh,
is
no,
there?
not at all. I mean, our front lake here is 15 acres, and the gators and crocodiles have free reign of the lake. I mean, out here in the lake, we probably have about 250 alligators just here in the lake. So that's a lot, you know. The males each have their own territories, and then they allow the females in the territory. But these guys are all swimming around together. They have free reign of the whole thing. They swim underneath the docks here, you know, to get to the other side or to one side. And then we have the 10-acre breed marsh, and there's about, you know, the same amount of number, about 250, 300 gators out
I have
there.
a question
Sure.
again about Delilah.
Yes.
If she's the only crocodile in here and the rest are alligators, how did she become pregnant?
She is not the only crocodile in here. So she's got a mate. His name is Lyle, and he's a Nile crocodile too. He's our second largest Nile crocodile in the park. But we also, in the front lake here, have American crocodiles. So we have like 3 or 4 American crocodiles here. And American crocodiles are the only species of crocodile found here in the United States. They're found right here in Florida, but down south, down in the Keys and the Everglades. So they cohabitate with alligators down there. And funny enough, that's the only place in the world where gators and crocodiles cohabitate with each other. Otherwise, it's just crocodiles or just alligators. Or down in South America, you have a species of crocodilian called caiman, which are found down there, and they're much smaller. Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Brandon, we've had a great time again this year. We've been here, many times before. People want to get in touch with you and come to the park. Where can they find you?
So you can check us out online at www.gatorland.com, or you can call our phone number 407-855-5496 and get all the information you need about Gatorland. I mean, listen, guys, you got to come out. It's a lot of fun. It's laid back. It's real Florida. It's not the hustle and bustle of the big parks, even though those are fun at times. It's just laid back and relaxed. You're going to have a good time. Bunch of different times to be able to feed the animals, get up close and personal, touch them. You can zip line over alligators and crocodiles. Even if you're disabled or handicapped, you can zip line over there. We have a disabled all access zip line for those folks that, you know, we like to call it handy-capable. You know, you're handy-capable.
Nice.
Exactly. And you get a chance to go zip line over those gators, crocodiles. We've got a big swamp buggy ride. That's our newest attraction that's been open about 1.5 years now, but full speed, bumps, mud. You go through a pond full of alligators, and who knows, you know, we might have some things coming up in the future. We're moving some animals around, so you might start seeing some new enclosures pop up in the next year or so.
And can I just say, absolutely everyone who works here is just so friendly. From like the gift shop people, the people, taking your ticket admission, Brandon, everybody. It's just fun. It's really good
I've
fun.
never not come here and not had a good time.
Hey,
No.
That's
I don't know
what
if
that's
there's too
what
many
we like.
negatives there. I've never been here and not had a good time.
Hey,
Exactly.
That's what we like to hear. And, you know, we want our folks to leave with fun smiles and special memories.
Well, put it this way: we arrived here earlier than our friends, but our friends joined us first day, what do you want to do? Gatorland.
Nice.
It was the first day.
Nice.
Forget
Hey,
your Universal.
that's what I like to hear.
First day.
Brendan,
Yeah.
once again, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.